Hi everybody, welcome into Universal Beauty. And first, right out of the gate, I want to say a big congratulations to Shelby Morgan in the great state of Washington that won the Big Box of Beauty Advent Calendar. So thank you, Shelby, for subscribing, and I'm so happy that you won. And I hope you really enjoy all the products there and that you have a great time exploring those things. So congratulations. So anyway, everybody that commented or thought that the last installment with our little thing we went through with eye brushes, thanks for commenting, and you seem to like that. So I thought today maybe we'll just go through part two of essential brushes and things that perhaps you'd like to have or want to get to know about. So beginning with foundation. Now some people like to apply their foundation with brushes or sponges or their fingers, or there's multiple different ways that it can be done. So I just thought I'd go through a couple of things that at least I have some experience with, and give you a little thumbs up or thumbs down on those. So the first one here, this one is Edward Bess, and sometimes I think you'll probably begin to hear me talk a lot about Edward Bess because I just really think he is one of the premier makeup artists around right now. He's got such a great approach for not overly made up, but you only better. Thing is, it is a luxury brand, and you can find his stuff at Nordstrom's and I think maybe Saks, and online at edwardbess.com. This particular brush here, this is a Black Sea, it comes with the Black Sea Correcting Mousse Foundation. This brush isn't really actually sold on its own, and this Correcting Mousse Foundation is 86 bucks. It's expensive, and it is a good foundation, but even if you were to just imitate this type of brush, again, it's kind of one that is used to apply foundation and be very slick with it. So there's that one to begin with. Edward Bess also has the Flawless Illusion Foundation, and you can get this brush. It has an angle to it, and that particular foundation comes in like a compact, and it's like a cream that you swirl this around and then you really buff it in place. This brush is $58. So again, remember, Edward Bess is a luxury brand. You are going to pay for that, but stuff is really going to last you. Now there is a little trend happening. These foundation brushes that have like there's a little well in there. It's hard to see, but it's right here, and it's like a little recess that if you use liquid foundation, you can drop the drops down into this little well, and then you go ahead and blend that on your face. Now these are okay. I like the idea. I think it's innovative, but it was just okay for me. I wasn't like overly crazy about it. It's all right though, and these Bare Minerals has one that comes with their Bare Skin Perfecting its foundation. I think sometimes you can get these together, or sometimes you buy the foundation on its own, which I think is like $29, or this brush that's on its own, and that's $28. So it's another way to go, and it makes sense, but it actually, the way that it performed was just okay for me. It's all right. Then a lot of people have a whole slew of places have these oval brushes you may have seen, and I like that these are so dense. The fiber, the hair on them, that's like completely great. It seems like that should be enormously great foundation coverage. I find these a little unwieldy and hard to work with, and they go from foundation to blush to eyeshadows, and I guess because we've been using the artist brushes for so long, that these just are a little bit awkward. So I wasn't thrilled with this. Many different places make them though. For example, MAC has one for $42. Artist Elite has one for $57. Pure, like PUR, Pure, they have it for $26. Tarte has one for $28. So there's a multiple range of different places that you can get those. And again, I guess it's good to try. I think it would be better to buy one and see how you like it than rather to buy a whole kit and then feel like you just can't work with it. So for my choice, what I am discovering that I love more than anything else, and these have been popular for a few years now, but some people have not embraced them, is the Beauty Blender, the sponge. And Beauty Blender is the original pioneers of these sponges, and they come like pretty small, but once you get them wet and pliable, they increase in size. And these are such, you know, I use them for many things throughout the application process. I just feel like you can't beat these. They're really great, and they do come in different shapes and sizes. Like this one you can see is kind of got a little hourglass shape to it. It has points that you can get in the corners and things a little tighter. This one is tart and it has a sloped edge to it. I think this came with Shape Tape, and that flat surface you can just dab right under your eye, and that's the thing. Sometimes silicone, these are a real thumbs down for me. I just feel like the drag on these is too much and the application isn't good. There's smaller versions of everything too to get into delicate corners. For me, I believe this is Benefit, and I like the fact that it's like a little handle and a little cannonball sponge on the end of it. And for me, this is great for doing inner corner work and just around. You get 2 of these, I think, for 10 bucks at Benefit. But anyway, yeah, Beauty Blender or blending tool, blending sponge. Beauty Blender, their claim is that their sponge is made of a very different material than what you're likely to find in a drugstore or a, you know, name brand store that just has lowered prices. So I don't know, it's up to you. You have to fool around with these things and play with them and decide. But for me, boy, you cannot beat the sponge to blend your foundation. And you know, it's for me better than fingers, better than a brush. You can start with a brush and then blend it out with a damp Beauty Blender sponge, but usually I just kind of dot it all over my face, the product, and then just blend out with that sponge, and it's perfect. So you'll have to see what makes sense to you. Okay, then I'm going on to, this is what I use again. This is Edward Bess. It is the concealer brush that comes with the Extreme Cover Cream. Again, I don't believe he sells this brush just on its own. I think it comes with the product. It's $58 for that concealer and this brush. But again, take note of the shape. It's very flat and rounded at the top and kind of shorter. Let me see the foundation brush, as you can see next to it, very different. But this really does a nice job. Now, if you're not wanting to spend a whole lot with luxury brands, also different places in the drugstore. This, I don't know the brand or the name. It's just a generic one. But again, this is, light is bright, sorry. This is what it looks like. It's just, again, sort of a rounded tip brush, and it's small, and it's stiff bristles to kind of get you into the product and that you can work with it. So there's that too. Then let's see, I have a Tarte contour brush, and this one is, again, sometimes, like I say, with these brushes, they last a good long time, and I don't believe that Tarte is using the dark purple bases anymore, but this brush has like kind of a diamond looking top to it, and it's great for contour. They do have other ones available. They quite often change what the handles look like. You know, they make kind of cute ones and bamboo ones and lucite ones and glitter ones and all this kind of stuff. But that one there, the contour brush is about $34 at Tarte. And then, you know, there is a thing here. This is a blush brush. This is J. Manuel Beauty. I love this brush so much. I just feel like it's so great. It's nice and fluffy, and it really just places, it picks up just enough blush and it puts it down just perfect. J. Manuel Beauty, I believe that is $25. All right, then Real Techniques is a drugstore brand, and they're pretty good. For example, they have a thing that's called the sculpting set. There's a contour brush in there with, again, the sloped edge, and you also get like this I use for highlighter. Oh, and then one of these fan brushes. I don't have the one in this kit. I don't typically use fan brushes, but this is what they look like. This one is the Vanity Planet one. But all 3 of these came in a kit. They're sculpting kit. and it's $14.99 at Ulta. I think it's usually $20, but on sale at Ulta you get all three. 2 out of 3 I use, 1 not so much. So this is a nice brush to get into cream contour or even a powder, and this slant here just makes it easy to get in there and carve out those cheekbones that you're going to want. Okay, and then there's Hoola has their Hoola Benefit has a Hoola brush for their product, their bronzing powder that's called Hoola, and it's on a little bamboo kind of looking stem here, just to, you know, make you feel like you're on vacation or something. But anyway, this is a great brush for getting that bronzing powder in place. Then I have Philosophy. This powder brush, it comes with the Purity Shield Flawless Powder. It's a really nice powder brush. Again, really good fiber, and this is $30 on its own. I think if you buy it with the powder, you might get some kind of a deal, like $36 and change or something like that. But yeah, it's from Philosophy, and that's a good one. Also, Sephora has a powder brush for $18.50. Sephora is another one that quite often changes the color of the stem. So this, again, a lot of times if your brushes are good, they're going to last you a good long time, and I haven't had the need to change this out, but it's a good one. But also, even your finishing powder is another thing that you can apply with your blending tool. So this thing is such a multitasker. I really, really recommend that. And lastly, there's a couple of things. Sigma E25 blending brush. This one is small, and it's like the Traveler, so you can kind of hit up your face with a little bit of correction if you need to. I like the size of it, and the same with this one. This is the smudge brush, the E21, and I believe these are traveling ones. This one normally goes for $15, this one for $16, but I believe those are the full size prices. I don't know if they change the price when they're small Travelers. I think these were actually like gift with purchase or something like that from a while back. But anyway, it's something to look for. Now, other things, this, for example, I thought would look interesting. It's from Revlon. It's a stick with a blending tool on the end, and it has the slope. I think this retails for about $5. I haven't tried it yet, so can't tell you what that's like, but again, it's nice and short. I kind of like some of those short handles to really get in and do detail work if I need it. Okay, so the other thing that is an essential tool to me, I have a box of Q-tips right on my beauty table, and I just use those for everything. They're so good, and they're fairly inexpensive. You know, gosh, I think if you go to a big box store like Costco, you can get like a whole case of Q-tips for really cheap, and that'll set you up for a really long time. The other thing is, how often do you clean your brushes? What do you do with those? Really, it's probably once a week at least. It depends on how often you're doing your makeup and how much color transfer. You know, you're not going to want to be using a bunch of brown and then go into a charcoal color, and then what if you want to try something that's like a light peachy color? You're going to get all those colors melded together, and it's not going to be good. Plus, just hygienically, it's better. Clean your brushes about once a week. And there are some different kind of cleansers for brushes and beauty blending tools alike. You know what I do? I get like a bar of soap with shea butter in it, and I like to just run that bar of soap in the palm of my hand under water and put my brush around in it until the water runs clear, and then kind of shake out the excess water, roll it in a towel, and then leave it to dry. You don't want to dry your brushes in an upright position because you don't want water running back down into the source here, where, you know, trapped water, that's not a good idea. So either have them like this, or I put mine on the edge of the cabinet in the bathroom and let it hang over to where that's just air drying nicely like that. So about once a week is probably good for your brushes, and what you use to cleanse them with will really be up to you. I don't think you want to use any real harsh soap. A lot of these brushes are synthetic and therefore vegan friendly, and that can pretty much take a good cleaning. But if you do go ahead and decide to use brushes that are, you know, hair of some kind, you probably want to treat those a little more gently. Okay, so that's the wrap up of Essential Brushes Part 2. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and click the like button or share it. And of course, would love for you to subscribe and leave comments. So thanks again for being with me, and I'll see you next time, and thank you. Bye.